Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jacqueline Gibson, and I'm a traditional astrologer using the whole sign house system. Today we're looking at the new moon in Virgo on August 23rd and breaking down what this new moon is indicating for each of us. The new moon in Virgo is noteworthy because it occurs at 0 degrees of Virgo and it is tightly squared with Uranus in Gemini at 1 degree. Uranus is also in an almost exact trine with Pluto, indicating a time of breaking down or breaking through. The transit of Uranus and Pluto will become more relevant next year. For now, what we're seeing from these two planets is more like a sneak preview of what will be a focal point next year. While new moons generally signify new beginnings and new opportunities, this new moon indicates an element of surprise because of that square with Uranus. This alignment can lead to unexpected revelations or changes, and that makes it an impactful time to start new projects or to start new intentions, but there will be an element of uncertainty. The combination of Virgo's practicality with Uranus indicating unpredictability suggests a time where planning is important, but flexibility is just as important. So this basically says, make plans, but be open to change. If we are insistent that all of the matters of our lives present in a certain way, involve certain people, and they must unfold along a certain timeline, we're very likely to be disappointed and frustrated. Versus if we leave room for flexibility, we could find new solutions that we hadn't even thought of or experience new things that we hadn't even considered rather than just watching things blow up in our face. So it's really just about shifting our perspective if we do feel stuck in a detailed certain plan that must be one way. Now let's take a look at how this new moon will be affecting each of us according to our rising sign. If you have Virgo rising, this new moon indicates a time to explore your own personal growth in new and unconventional ways. So you want to blend practicality with innovation in order to transform your experiences as well as yourself. The first house governs the mind, the character, and our physical presentation and well-being, as well as your physical vitality. So this new moon is indicating a time when there'll be focus on those areas in your life. Remember to consider that the square with Uranus is really bringing in like unexpected intentions. Things you might not have thought would ever be your intentions suddenly are. And that's okay. Go with it. Integrate some of that new inspiration into what you already thought things should look like, if that makes sense. So this might be about a new way to get to goals that you had set in the past, or this may be a completely new set of goals. And again, those goals having to do a lot with you, your physical space, your energy levels. You might really look outside of the box for solutions to your own physical health. And you could also find yourself just doing the opposite of what you have done in the past. So if you're somebody who always gets enough rest, you might find yourself not getting enough. Or you may find that cutting back actually helps you to engage more in the moment. Keep a lookout for those things that are revolutionary to you. The part of this particular new moon that is introducing unpredictability for you is coming from your 10th house. So that can be either people in authority or people associated with your career. This new moon could also bring up surprising changes having to do with your public persona or your reputation. And if you're looking to set new intentions for this particular new moon, focusing in on things that have to do with your mind, your body, your vitality, and your physical health and well-being would be a really good place to start. Leo rising, this new moon is happening in your 2nd house, which governs personal finances, possessions, and sometimes self-worth. But this new moon is likely to highlight the importance of financial stability and material resources, whatever that means for you. This transit could prompt a renewed focus on your finances if you hadn't been focused on them in the past, as well as an assessment of like your valuables and your possessions. The influence of Uranus in this particular new moon indicates that you want to look outside the box for solutions to any kind of financial struggle that you're having, or looking outside of like your conventional ideas or whatever you've been using in the past, whether that's what we're taught from our family, whether by watching what they do and mirroring that, or through like what they've actually taught us. This could be a time when you're looking kind of outside of whatever that means for you to manage your finances in a completely revolutionary way compared to what you've done in the past. Unexpected changes are coming from your 11th house. That's where Uranus is transiting. And so it might be someone in a friend group or within your community, social groups of some kind that suggests to you an app that they're using, or, a financial teacher that they are into, a book that they've read that might help you with some type of financial challenge or just goal that you have right now. It doesn't necessarily mean something is wrong, but if you have a plan that has to do with your finances, listen for that kind of unexpected guidance coming from friends or community. Remember that this is a time to remain flexible where your finances are concerned and where the planning piece of your finances is concerned. That doesn't mean go overboard and spend more than you have or take risks that make you uncomfortable. It just means be open to new ideas. And if you're looking to set intentions for this new moon, anything having to do with your personal finances or your possessions, your valuables, your stuff, anything having to do with that area of your life is open to change and new ideas right now, and a good place to set those intentions. If you have Cancer rising, this new moon is happening in your 3rd house. The 3rd house is about communication, relationships with siblings, and learning. So this transit could indicate a time where you might initiate new projects in one or more of those areas. And this is a really good time to enhance your social connections and to explore any new avenues to learn things. So that could be a suggestion for a book, a suggestion for a class. It doesn't have to be like going back to school and getting a 4-year degree. It's a new moon. So that's not a lengthy transit. But this is a good time to open your mind to new learning experiences. And any kind of planning that has to do with short distance travel or sibling relationships or just your daily routine, you want to just, again, stay open to new ideas and sudden changes and just unexpected shifts. If we're open to them, it's more likely that they will turn out good for us. And Uranus isn't a planet that just makes a suggestion and goes away, generally pushes us into it. It can be better to embrace versus resist. This period for you could also indicate new social connections and networking opportunities. So this can look like engaging with others in ways that you haven't before or in new ways. So that could be through, social media. That could be engaging with like online groups or online classes, or even more specifically, like the group activity within an online class could bring some really good experiences for you that really open your eyes in some way. So the suggestions for intentions, if you're looking for intentions for this particular new moon, is anything having to do with learning, especially if it's learning something completely new to you, exploring new ideas with siblings or exploring new sibling relationships, and any kind of communication or networking with others. If you have Gemini rising, this new moon indicates unexpected changes or revelations that may arise concerning your domestic life and your family relationships, as well as like your physical home. So during this transit, you might find yourself initiating new projects related to your home or your home environment and your own family dynamics. So the influence of Virgo here obviously emphasizes organization and being practical. And if you're considering any kind of move, obviously careful planning is important there, such as like real estate moves, like real estate paperwork associated with a move. But again, you still want to stay open to the unexpected changes that the influence of Uranus and Gemini is bringing, especially since Uranus is in your first house. So you may actually be the one bringing the unexpected change to your fourth house topics, like your family dynamics, your home. It's likely to be you initiating these changes or someone very close to you. You might also find yourself considering how your home environment is affecting your emotional foundation, or how your family dynamics have affected your emotional foundation in the past. Look for any opportunity to grow in that area, because some of this might be a little bit unexpected. It may come up suddenly. And so you want to just be sure to take care of you during this time. If you're looking to set any intentions during this new moon, anything having to do with home, family, and home related projects would be a good idea for you at this time. If you have Taurus Rising, you may feel inspired to initiate projects having to do with your creative self-expression or to explore new romantic endeavors. So the new moon indicates practicality and organization, where creativity and romance are concerned, but that square with Uranus is also indicating a need to be open to unexpected changes. This new moon could also be highlighting your relationships with your children, so the same would apply there. Any plans that you have with your children or way that you organize or structure their days might suddenly face unexpected changes that you'll need to be open to. And it doesn't mean that they'll be bad. This could look like, one of my children is taking a dance class and that changes my daily routine in some way. And maybe I had planned to cover transportation in a certain way, and that way isn't going to work, and I'm going to have to find new solutions for that. So it doesn't mean necessarily that your children are bringing the surprises, although they could. And again, doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means that you want to be open in those areas for whatever surprises come along. The square to Uranus is coming from your second house. So that indicates that whatever creative endeavors or new intentions you're setting with your children, the unexpected influences coming through your second house of finance and possessions. So again, you just want to be aware of and look for that. So just remember, this is a time of unexpected innovation that could really reshape your perspective in some way. So just try to be open to what that shift is bringing for you. If you're looking to set new intentions for this particular new moon, anything having to do with your children, your creative self-expression, or your romantic life is a great place to set intentions at this time. If you have Aries Rising, this new moon is happening in your sixth house. So it's likely at this time you'll be encouraged in some way to initiate new projects or intentions in the area of your physical health, your daily routine, or your work environment. So this is a really good time to strategically plan anything related to those areas of your life. Just remember that a plan that leaves room for unexpected changes or unexpected inspiration is likely to be more successful right now. Unexpected shifts or changes, challenges, perhaps, will be coming from your third house, and that's communication, your siblings, or your daily routine. So it could be that something in your daily routine shifts dramatically, and that affects either your physical health or your work environment in some way. So you just want to be open to whatever that change is. You may encounter unexpected developments in your workplace at this time. So you just want to stay adaptable when those surprises come up and seek to revolutionize yourself along the same lines. If you're looking for any intentions that would be good to set for this particular new moon, anything having to do with your work environment, anything having to do with people who work for you, or anything having to do with your physical or mental health. If you have Pisces Rising, this new moon is happening in your seventh house. So you're likely to experience significant changes having to do with your one-on-one partnerships or relationships. So this can be romantic relationships, long-term partnerships, or long-term partnerships that have just begun. This is a really good time to explore any new relationships or to set new intentions in existing ones. You may be redefining the terms of an existing relationship right now, and that may have been unexpected. So again, just go with it. This time really indicates for you a time of new beginnings in relationships that either come about or are dependent on in some way you revolutionizing your old ideas. So Uranus is transiting your fourth house right now, which is your home, your family, your parents, and your emotional security. So the unexpected changes are likely to come from that area of your life in some way and affect your long-term partnerships. It doesn't mean it's negative. It could just be like someone's moving and that affects my long-term partnership. It could be moving in together and that's changing things. So we want to be careful not to categorize all change as negative or challenging. So this is a good time to embrace anything that is unexpected and to explore whatever it's presenting to you. It's a good idea to remain adaptable in your long-term partnerships, but we always want to balance any adaptability with boundaries. So I could be open to changes as long as they remain within existing boundaries that are important to me. So if you're looking to set intentions at this time for this new moon, anything having to do with partnership or relationship is a really good place to set intentions for the future. If you have Aquarius rising, this new moon in Virgo is transiting your 8th house, which indicates a time where you will be focused on shared resources, intimacy. There could be unexpected changes having to do with your emotional growth or your shared finances. So you may at this time start new projects that have to do with deep emotional transformation, exploring intimacy, or changing your shared resources or what shared resources look like to you. This can also have to do with how you organize your investments or what you are invested in. Some of the unexpected shifts could be coming from your children or something that you've created in the past that is shifting what you're working on in those 8th house areas in some way. So that could be like setting up a trust fund for a child. That could be helping someone else in your family to organize their investments or their finances in some way, or vice versa, someone from your family assisting you. So this new moon indicates a time where you definitely could experience like some psychological healing, but it's likely to be somewhat outside of the box or new to you. So you just want to explore any kind of new ideas having to do with emotional wellness or emotional healing that are presented to you right now. If you're wanting to set any new intentions for this new moon, anything having to do with shared resources, investments, emotional healing, or psychological growth, or inheritance are really good places to start as far as intentions for this new moon. If you have Capricorn Rising, this new moon will be transiting your 9th house. Your 9th house is all about your philosophical beliefs, your spiritual beliefs, your political beliefs, as well as travel or higher education. This is a good time to set new intentions to be practical in any of these areas of your life or to explore any new information that you might be exposed to at this time. Just remember that there may be unexpected changes in these areas. This new moon is likely to expand your horizons, whether that comes through travel or comes through some type of higher learning that you engage in right now. And there also may be a shift to something that you didn't think that you would explore at this time. So just be open to what those changes are. The unexpected changes could come through your work, your employees, if you have any, your daily routine, or from your health practices, like the way that you engage in self-care, having to do with either your physical health or your mental well-being. So it could be changes in this area of your life that somehow inspire or motivate a change having to do with higher learning or what you believe in or some type of travel that you may have been planning. So you just want to stay adaptable in terms of expanding your worldview, but also remember that we want to investigate any radical changes, like use that Virgo influence to find what is the concrete information that supports this radical change and is it valid? If you're looking to set intentions for this new moon, anything having to do with long distance travel, higher learning, or changing your worldview, expanding your worldview in some way are great places to set intentions at this time. If you have Sagittarius rising, this new moon is transiting your 10th house. Your 10th house is all about your career, your public life, and your reputation. So this new moon could signify new opportunities in those areas or new places for growth. Just remember that some of them may be unexpected, and so they might be something that you want to explore, but not necessarily jump right into, if that makes sense. So using the Virgo new moon to collect concrete information about any changes that you're making in this area of your life right now, but still remaining open to those changes. Like, that sounds good. I'm going to look into it. So you just want to be flexible right now and allow space for new opportunities. Unexpected shifts can be coming through your partnerships, and that can also be your romantic partnerships, like long-term partners or marriage partners. So just because something is unexpected right now doesn't necessarily mean that it's about you or for you. You want to stay open and you want to explore it, but that doesn't always mean that this is something that you want. So you're watching for things that align closely with what your career goals and goals for, who you are in the public eye. So the suggestions for intentions for this new moon would be anything having to do with your career, your public life, or your public reputation. If you have Scorpio rising, this new moon is happening in your 11th house. Your 11th house is all about friends, community, the groups that you align with. This can sometimes have to do with your personal aspirations as well. So you may find friends that are also in alignment with what you aspire to do or to be. So remember that any new connections that come up at this time will probably be unexpected. So you just want to be on the lookout for those. This is a good time to set any intentions or to start new projects involving social networks or community groups, as well as starting new projects with friends. So remember, you can make detailed plans with friends or with social groups. Like you could, outline a specific plan for moving forward, and it's likely that there will be some unexpected changes. So just try to roll with those. Some of those unexpected shifts could be coming from shared resources, inheritance, or some type of psychological growth on your part. So you may experience psychological growth that encourages you to get out more, to make new friends. Or you could make a plan with friends to invest in something together. So just remember, you want to be welcoming to new opportunities for friendship, but also making sure that any new friendships align with your own personal boundaries and your expectations for what friendship is. So this might look like a friendship opportunity that comes kind of like in a package that you weren't expected, or in an area of your life that you weren't expecting, but that person internally really aligns with you. So it might have been unexpected that this would be something that would grow into a true friendship, but it does for whatever reason, and vice versa. Like someone could look like the perfect friend for you and it just doesn't work out. There could be a group that you connect with that you realize at this time isn't in alignment with what you want, and you find almost immediately something else takes its place. So just be looking for those kind of shifts and remembering who you are and what you actually want and where you're actually going. And the suggestions for intentions at this time aren't anything having to do with friendships, community groups, or social networks. If you have Libra rising, this new moon will be transiting your 12th house. And a 12th house transit of a new moon indicates new beginnings that are like rooted in some type of deep exploration that you've done, or rooted in something that is hidden, if that makes sense. Our 12th house generally indicates self-sabotage or sabotage from others, or just things that are hidden. And so any intentions set at this time might be intentions that are set, but that you're not really disclosing to anyone. You're kind of keeping secret right now. Or they may be intentions that you're setting to explore your own emotional foundation and psychological roots right now. It could also be something that comes out of your subconscious in some way, like through a dream or something that you just remember that you had completely forgotten, that leads to setting an intention for something to explore now. So the unexpected shifts that may influence this transit right now for you could come from long distance travel, higher learning, or your own personal beliefs or worldview. So this could look like you take a class that triggers something or informs like an unconscious fear that you have that you decide to start working on. And that whole process would be a little bit more personal and not necessarily something that's coming from like a family member or in a public forum. This would be something that's more personal to you. So this is a great time for meditation, for journaling, so this new moon indicates a great time for exploring a new meditation practice, for journaling, for meeting with a new therapist, or for engaging in some type of transformational self-care routine. And the suggestion for intentions for Libra Rising at this time would be anything having to do with self-exploration, introspection, inventory, like taking inventory of your own life and behaviors, and resolving any hidden fears or unresolved matters. Thanks for watching today's breakdown of the new moon in Virgo. I hope this information helps you to make good choices in the coming weeks. If you're interested in a more personal look at your chart, you can schedule a session with me at the link below in the description box. If you found this video useful, please like and subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment on your experience with this new moon in the comment box below. I'm open to hearing your thoughts, your questions, your comments, your criticisms, whatever. And until next time, take really good care of you.